How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting. Welcome back to Requiem for Innocence. Now, we met Ceren, who is this adorable, ditzy, crazy girl who is actually like trying and calling herself her friend of Morgana, which is something new for Morgana, which is really interesting to see how things are going to progress. Remember, this is 2.5 years after Morgana was rescued, so let's jump in and see how things are going to go out from here. But I'm excited either way. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I am. So, because I know I love this. Every episode's fantastic. So let's do it. All right. Oh yeah, I've been thinking about what to call you, Morgana. What do you want to call me? Is that not what my name is for? Nickname. Step one to making friends, duh. So from now on, I'm gonna call you Morgs. 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 And with a hard G, not a soft one, just so there's no confusion. Wait, what's a hard G versus soft G? It's G rather than G, or like J. Yeah, I think it's just supposed to be G, not like Morgs. Morgs. Thank you. I never would have figured it out without your help. Morgs. Can you not call me that? It rather gets on my nerves. You can call me Jerry. You can't be serious. Good heavens, I cannot keep up with this girl. Anyway, that about covers it. All that's left is to show you the storeroom. Weren't you just there? Yes, but there's a second one. Below us. Below the floor? I made my way to the corner of the room, crouching down and pulling up on one of the floorboards. From beneath it appeared a staircase leading downward. Ooh, underground storage. Nice and cool to keep things fresh, too. This room serves a second purpose, though. Oh? It's also shelter for us to hide in should any sort of trouble arise. Oh, huh. Fortunately, it has not yet been used for that purpose. But we're not in the safest area, so we must be prepared for anything. Ah, yeah, that makes sense. Nice place this is. I guess it still is in the slums. Indeed. Here's hoping we never have to use it. Indeed. So that's everything then. If I've seen the whole place? Yes, that's everything. Or I suppose I should show you the kitchen as... Ah! What's up? I completely forgot I was trying to start a fire. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I scrabbled back to the kitchen, but I feared it was far too late. The coals were long since dead. All that work for nothing. Looks like you got a bit of an airhead side too, Morgs. And who do you think I was to blame for that? It's all right. We can get it together. Together? This is all your responsibility. Interesting. I'm actually seeing a potential, like, real friendship here. As the sun began to set, the meal preparations were completed. The girls started to emerge from their rooms, a bustle forming in around the kitchen. Some sluggishly rubbed the sleep from their eyes, while others complained about clients. Some took a moment for me to recognize in their casual clothes, sans makeup. Off the job and being themselves, they looked less like prostitutes and more like just ordinary girls. Gee, I wonder why. There were around 10 girls who actually stayed at the brothel, another 10 who came in for work from outside. It was a fairly large-scale operation, at least to my eyes. Though there were a couple other smaller brothels in the slums, this was the one everyone directed anyone interested to first. Girls with nowhere else to go stayed here, and girls who did not have a place to go back to stayed there. No one actually owned their own homes, though. They either lived with a man or shared a place with a few other girls. None of them had husbands or children. Supposedly, there were those who did in this line of work, but it was rather uncommon. I scooped out servings of soup from the cauldron sitting over the fire, dishing out to the girls as they came by. No one gave me any unpleasant looks to the side of my face. They said good morning and smiled, just like any other day. I whispered a greeting to each of them in turn, but given how noisy the kitchen was, it was unlikely any of them heard it. Oh boy, it sure is bouncing in here. I like me a place with some energy. I'm glad to hear that. It didn't take long for Ceren to start hitting it off with the other prostitutes. Her perky disposition was undeniably overdone, but everyone seemed to enjoy the positive attention she was giving them as well enough. In almost no time at all, the girls were fawning over her. She's like a puppy. Once everyone had their food, they settled into the individual mealtime activities. The bland, watery soup was expectedly unpopular, even though everyone knew there was nothing that could be done about it. This again, several of them murmured, which is what Maria stood up and chastised them, saying, "You should be grateful you got anything to eat at all." I know. And Morgana worked her butt off to make it for you. It's rude to complain. I'm sorry, I really am. It ain't her cooking I'm complaining about. You know that, right? Don't you, Morgana? It doesn't bother me. And you're perfectly justified in being displeased. It's hardly nutritious enough to get you through the day. True enough, I guess. Would be great if we could get something a little more oomph. Like a big old slab of meat. Whee! I love meat! Oh my gosh, she's come flying in! Just thinking about it has me drooling. Meat, bring on the meat! Save the drool for work, cause that's the only meat you'll get here. I wonder. Maybe I could pretend this root-looking thing's meat and I'll actually taste like it. Meat from the depths, I summon thee. Meat! I don't know what she's trying to say there. Chomp, chomp. No, still not meat. No, crap, genius. Meat. You don't like meat, Morgs? Now, you won't go big and strong if you're such a picky eater. I'm not picky about what I eat, no. All sustenance is a gift from God to man. I would never refuse his. Well, is the meat not to your liking then, Saint? Hear that, slave? The Saint says your brother tastes so bad it makes her retch. You alright, Morgs? You're super pale. Oh, my voice is just not gonna do it today. I am sorry. I'm just fine. It's been more than 2 years. I still can't get the taste out of my mouth, no matter how hard I try to forget it. Sometimes when I'm awake, like just now, and sometimes at an awful nightmare. If you're not feeling good, maybe you should lie down. I'm fine, really. You sure? Maybe meat's out of the question, but some bread would sure be nice at least. God, yes, bread. Too bad supplies have been so scarce lately. It's all the darn Lord's fault. Now that bunch of whores could do F about it. Is the Lord really that bad of a guy? Oh, right. You haven't been here very long. You don't know what he's like. Yes, he's a terrible man. He oppresses the people and rejects the word of God. He's a cruel, heartless, barbaric madman. He deserves the strictest of judgments. So does everyone in the city hate him then? I doubt you'll find a single person who thinks otherwise. Huh. Well, I hope he stops being a lord soon then. What do you mean? I just mean it'd be nice if someone else could take over for him. Then he could just be a regular old guy. He wouldn't have to worry about running a city stuff. Everyone wins. It would be nice, yes, but... Wouldn't it? Pretty dang brilliant, aren't I? Even I know that's not so simple, and I'm only 11. How would a bunch of slum dwellers even begin to instate a loon lord? Does she even think before speaking? Well, dang. I was hoping to make it before breakfast time. Sorry about that, but I brought bread. Bread? Speak of the bloody devil. Here, toss it here. No, me first. Patience, please. You're acting like wild animals. I haven't eaten it in days. Look at you, Jacopo. You've got girls fawning all over you. Don't just watch, help. It's not me they're after, it's the bread. Touché. That said, pretty sure sorry batch you got for us today. You could have probably cracked someone's head open with this. There's no hope in the world if we've fallen so far our girls are tripping over each other to get their hands on this. You want fresh, soft bread? I'll start saving your coins. And until then, this is the best we can get. Let it soak in your soup for a bit. That should soften it up. Though you should be grateful to have it at all. Huh? How much longer till I fall into a pile of money?
Morgs, it's a man. There's a man in here. I have eyes, thank you very much. Who is it, you know? Oh, is he a client? No, he's not. He's more, how do I put it? Someone who doesn't know how to keep his nose out of other people's business.
Excuse me, did your eyes fail to detect that I have ears?
Here he comes.
Haven't seen you around here before. New girl?
You first, mister. Who are you? Since you came in through the back door, I'm guessing you work here.
Something like that.
Holy moly, I've never seen a male prostitute before.
Me, outside, now.
Whoa! Talk about aggressive. Inter-office romances never end well, you know. Maria will get bad at me if she finds out. The ship's sinking before it even leaves the port. Two prostitutes in the throes of forbidden love until the other client finds the other and goes mad with rage. All of a sudden, there's a knife in his hand. He swings and...
Maria, who the heck is wrong with this new girl? I've never seen anyone with this much air in their head.
That's Ceren. She joined today. She's a bit off in the head, but she's a nice girl. I'm sure you'll get on just fine. Nice to meet ya. Wait, does that mean we have a boss's approval? It's crazy enough that they're running the place themselves, but allow no cheer on a sinking ship. This place is out of the world. We just met 5 minutes ago, though. So how about we start as friends?
Shut up and listen for a second, chatterbox. Until I say otherwise, you are not to speak another word. You will listen to every word I say and carve into that empty skull of yours. Understood?
Aye.
Ceren, what a girl. And there you have it. I assist with the brothel operation, nothing more. I presume you've been told about how this place doesn't have a formal manager, so sometimes situations arise where a man's presence is necessary.
Yep. He may look like a scrawny dork, but he's actually surprisingly useful.
Was that really necessary?
Sorry, my bad. Slip of the tongue. Huh, neato. So have you two know each other a long time? You seem like you're pretty close.
It was pretty much just the two of us fighting to survive for years.
That's awesome. I love that kind of thing. Together through thick and thin. Not too long ago, he had some other guys start up a band of peacekeepers, so he's been spending more of his time training with them these days. That said, I guess it's not too bad knowing we got someone we could throw at that troublemakers if need be. Ooh, peacekeepers? Sweet. You don't look like you'd put up much of a fight though, mister.
You want to test that theory? Maria, you need to teach this girl some manners. We'll be drowning in complaints if she treats patrons like this.
I'll have you know, I butter clients up so much they're a bigger slippery mess when I'm done with them. I'll be just fine, I promise. Oh, I bet they get slippery, but not from butter. What? That's not what I meant, I swear. What are you getting all flustered for? You're a whore just like the rest of us.
On somewhat related subject, where exactly did you pick up some of those mannerisms? Yeah, I have a feeling she's more than she appears.
Huh? Why do you ask? I seem pretty normal to me.
That would be quicker to list the things about you that are normal than aren't.
There's actually a majorly huge story behind that. Oh? Is that so?
And what would that be? You weren't raised by wolves in the wilderness and never learned how to behave like a normal person, were you?
You're not too far off, actually. When I was younger.
Wait, what? You don't have to. No one's forcing you to say anything if you don't want to.
I didn't grow up with my parents. I lived with a bunch of really nice men. I learned a lot from them. I didn't even know my name until they told me.
Pardon?
I thought my name was Me till around 5, but then one of the nice men told me it was actually Ceren. He was super duper disappointed in me. Called me the dumbest broad I ever know. Talk about rude. But they kind of rubbed off on me, so that's probably what you're seeing.
Okay.
Well, that certainly is a story. Is that not good enough for you?
I'll just say the nice man was absolutely right.
How rude! It's genuinely concerning how stupid this girl is. Anyway, food time.
Yeah, it is a little concerning.
I'm stuffed. It's amazing how much of a difference little bread makes. Glad you enjoyed it. 'Cause starting tomorrow, you gotta work for what if you want to eat. Aye, aye, boss. Oh, right. She'll be working here, too. It almost slipped my mind. She seems like such an innocent girl. So far removed from the carnal desire. Yet she'll be out there selling her body. Letting them put the filthy hands all over it. What's up, Morgs? You been staring at my face or something fierce? What? I was just admiring the unusual color of your skin. Ah, yeah, I'm not from around these parts. I'd like to go back home someday, but who knows if that'll ever happen. Home. She did say she was taken from her home and sold off. I imagine that would make it difficult to go back. Speaking of, you and Jacopo look kind of similar skin color-wise.
Do we?
We're deafs both on the darker side. I wish I had super pretty white skin like yours, boss. I appreciate the compliment, but everyone around here is really fair. My skin's nothing special.
And just because we both have tan skin doesn't necessarily mean we're from the same region.
Where are you from, Jackie?
Jackie?
Pretty dang adorable nickname, ain't it?
I would very much appreciate it if you never called me that again.
Aw, but it's so cute.
Back to the question of where I'm from, I don't remember. In my earliest memory, I was already living here. Chances are things weren't great wherever I was. It was where obviously I probably would remember something.
Ah, darn, that's too bad. But you know, Jackie, maybe where you come from is close to where I came from. Go back a few generations and maybe we even share some family.
I'd wager, I guess, you probably come from the same part of the world as me. If you go back far enough, you might even find we share ancestors. But who knows? I told you, stop calling me that. Though I suppose there's a chance you're right about that.
Wait, that makes us family then, Jackie.
God, get off me, let go, dang it.
Well, well, she seems to have taken quite a liking to you. Why? Why did I just think that I wished he had said that no, they weren't?
Oh, Morgana. Once it started getting dark out, the kitchen became a deserted wasteland. The girls went off to work, and he went home. The brothel was divided into two distinct work and living areas. If it weren't, they had used the whole building for business, I probably would have run off long ago. I had only ever been in the work area during the day, and though it was largely masked by the scent of various incense burning through the night, it was filled with the unthinkable raw stench of man. Ugh. Well, nope, no comment. Cleaning it always put me in a dour mood. The corpses I gathered and buried were far less repulsive. In the living area, there was a kitchen, storage areas, and a large hall of sorts, where the girls used the communal bedroom. They would stumble in after a long night of work and all sleep together like a big family. It's kind of sweet in a way, really. I made a point of sleeping off in the corner, which wasn't strictly necessary since I slept while they worked and vice versa. I could just never seem to make myself comfortable sleeping in the middle of such a big empty space. Today was slightly different, though. I wasn't sleeping alone. Ceren was there, which I suppose shouldn't have surprised me.
Let's sleep together, Morgs. Absolutely not. No, why not? I dislike people putting their hands all over me. It makes me uncomfortable. Ah, I see. So you're opposed to snuggling, not sleeping together. And here I thought you didn't like me. I was about to cry. It's still too early to decide how I feel about you. We only met today. All the more reason we should sleep together. In what way does that make any sense? Simple. The best way to get to know me better is through good old-fashioned spooning.
Good old-fashioned spooning. The best way to get to know your friends. I can just imagine trying to propose that to somebody and be like, what?
Words got nothing on plain physical contact. That's how you get to know someone who's really on the inside. Your choice of words make that sound incredibly improper. Besides, I start work tomorrow, which probably means I won't get another chance to sleep with you for a while. So it's gotta be tonight, please? Fine. But only if you agree to give me enough space. At least let me finish my sentence.
Get out there before you get get in there before you change your mind.
Feels like we've adopted a dog.
I promise, I'm 101% human.
I never said you weren't, just that... Never mind. I take it back. It's not like we got a dog. It's like a tornado dropped in and made a horrible mess of my day.
That's Ceren for you. You just wait. I'll crack that big old icy shell of yours, Morgs.
Is that really how I come off? Out of curiosity, are you not afraid of being so close to me?
Huh? Why would I be?
When you first saw my face, you thought it was caused by some kind of disease. Are you not concerned it might be the cause? And that, you might catch whatever it is?
Well, you probably wouldn't be here if it was something contagious. As sweet as Maria is, she wouldn't keep you around if she thought you might get the other girls sick. And nobody else seemed all that concerned at breakfast. Which means whatever the marks on your face are, Morgs, they're probably in no danger to anyone else.
I'm surprised. You actually have something resembling a functioning brain.
Believe it or not, I'm super duper smart.
Now I know that isn't true. But anyway, I'm talking more, emotionally. You can't logically understand that I probably don't pose any danger and still be uncomfortable. Still want to keep your distance. I know several of the girls do. And I can't blame them either. They need to be healthy to work, to make their living. There's nothing wrong with wanting to avoid any potential risk, no matter how small. Or perhaps they don't even realize they're doing it themselves, in which case there's nothing anyone can do.
I'm not sure how much help I can be, since I don't really get why anyone would want to keep a distance from you. But I don't think that it's hopeless. If they don't realize they're doing it, then you just have to open their eyes. Easy peasy. Make them realize. And then tell them, stop trying to avoid me. You have the right to at least that much. I really think you need to be a little more assertive, Morgs. No one's gonna get mad at you if you stick up for yourself every once in a while.
They will, though.
What? Who will?
All man's suffering is purposeful. It is part of God's plan, his trials for us on this earth. He would be very displeased if I were to turn my back on his plan for me.
I really think you're overthinking it, Morgs. Less unfun things mean more room for fun things, and more fun things are always better.
Would you call your life fun?
Huh?
You were taken from your home, and now you work as a prostitute in the slums of a strange country. Do you call that fun? It just seems depressing to me.
Nope, I'm perfectly happy. Not a sorrow in the world. Hasn't been a single day in my life I'd felt sad or depressed like life sucks. Oh, man. Can I have that, please? I mean, sure, there are days when I think it'd be nice to see my mom again. But I don't really have time to worry about anything other than here and now, as far as I'm concerned. Now is always the best time of my life. Interesting. Wait, so she said she was raised by a bunch of men. Didn't even know her name. But now she's referencing her mom. So I wonder if that was a lie. Like, that she just told to, like, goof around. Interesting. Don't got any room to feel bad about anything.
I see. You are quite the optimist. So much it almost burns.
I consider myself lucky to have ended up in this brothel. Everyone's amazing.
Then, I pray you'll find yourself a home here.
Aw, you're kind of sweet, Morgs.
Kind of?
Slip of the tongue. You're always sweet. So hey, Morgs. How did you end up here a couple years back?
I was thrown into a carriage by a strange man and brought here, with no chance of ever returning. Not taken, but sold. Though ultimately the difference is insignificant.
You were?
I came through a similar route as you.
Oh, huh. I guess that makes us peas in a pod.
Not at all. Or anything but. I'm nowhere near as optimistic as her. Never mind energetic and cheerful. No, don't be foolish, Morgana. That's not why we're not alike. It's because I'm God's chosen daughter. I have absolutely no reason to feel inferior to a mere prostitute. We're nothing alike, and we must never be. You're so warm, Morgs. I'm gonna sleep great tonight. It's actually kind of like heart-wrenchingly sweet. Oh, man. If anyone needed, like, a hug, it's Morgana. Like, she would never accept it like that, but good grief. Like, there are times in most every visual novel I'm just like, just hug them, dang it! Morgana's, like, one of the top ones, though. Just give her hugs! She needs it. I am such a disgrace. No, you're not. Lord Baroner, we are all very much interested in seeing the saint's miraculous powers for ourselves. I knew it would not be long before someone asked. We're much too healthy to see the effects of the miracle in ourselves, after all. Which, of course, is anything but a problem. Failing ill would only serve to interfere with our ability to enjoy these feasts. Ha! Well said, my lord. Which is why I have arranged for the most fortuitous slave to have a miracle performed upon. Bring him in. Yes, sir. As you can see, this slave is on the verge of death. He can hardly even walk his own 2 feet. Under any other circumstances, I would keep such an unseemly thing out of sight as to not tarnish your festive mood, my guests. But I believe you will serve as a fine sample upon which to test this miracle's efficacy. He wants to test my miracle. Rejoice, slave. Good fortune shines upon you. You heard me, daughter of God. This poor slave's in need of your assistance. Give unto him your blessing, if you would be so gracious. I don't care how you try to dress it up, Lord. My miracle is not a show for your parties. Oh my, so you refuse to heal him then? After making such a scene about how your blood is for the sick and poor and suffering at all, and that? Even a saint's dignity has limits, I understand. You don't want to be sullied by this filthy old slave. I never said any such thing. Then you know what you must do. Do not make me intervene, daughter of God. I am asking you to do this out of respect. I would happily give my blood for that man. I knew you'd come around. Let's see, where should we let you let your blood bleed from, I think. I see no point in wasting unmarred flesh on a mere slave. Your fingertip will do nicely. You can't drink the blood directly from the cut, because I certainly don't have any goblets to spare for him. Let us begin then, shall we, O daughter of God? Drink, slave, suck upon the blood that spills from your finger. Do not even let a single drop go to waste. Tell me, slave, has your ailment been remedied? If it has, leap into the air for my guests. I'm cured, my lord. Behold, I am cured. I'm guessing that was an act. Oh, splendid, an undeniable miracle. Ha 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 ha! Look, my lord, I'm cured, in better shape than ever. We've seen more than enough. Stop hopping around like a filthy swamp toad. Yes, my lord. You are dismissed, slave. But first, give your thanks to the saint and all my guests who bore witness to the marvelous recovery. Thank you so much, sirs and madams. Thank you so much, O holy saint. Now that you've borne witness to the blood's power, I'm sure you're all eager to try for some for yourselves. Most certainly, my lord. With such potent elixir, our good health is all but assured. Indubitably. Please, stop this. Do not take any more of my blood. I'm begging. Ah! I've lost too much blood. I can barely think straight. I suppose I might have overdone it today.
You did not come cheap, Saint. I won't have you dying on me until you've at least provided your gold's worth for entertainment.
Your actions are an affront to God. My miracles are only for those in need.
Is that the only thing you know how to say? I've grown rather tired of hearing it.
I would gladly offer my blood for any of ailing slaves, but you and your guests are perfectly healthy. You are merely squandering God's gift on yourselves.
Ha! Ha 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 ha! You foolish little girl.
What?
Let me tell you something, Saint. I don't believe in your miracles.
How can you say that after seeing that slave boy drink my blood and be healed? What more proof do you need?
It was all a show.
What?
I told him to feign being ill and cure, or I would send him to the deepest chamber of the dungeons. Even a dog will wear a cat's skin if his life depends on it. So, what did you think of his performance? Impressive, no?
Why? Then why do you keep taking my blood?
Oh, I guess I desire a good time. You are nothing more than an exhibit for our entertainment.
No, you're wrong. My blood does have miraculous powers. I proved it back at the village.
It hardly matters either way. Whether you're a saint or a lowly peasant girl is inconsequential. All that matters is that you continue to play the role of a saint. What's the matter? Are you disappointed? Upset? You're welcome to cry, wail, and gnash your teeth like a sniveling little child. That would be entertaining in its own right. Shout at the top of your lungs that you're not a saint, that it was all an act, and beg to be set free. Who knows? Perhaps they might lose interest in you then.
I am the daughter of God. I will never claim otherwise.
I see. Then nothing changes. You will continue to offer your body and spirit to my feasts.
Why are you so insistent on remaining a saint, Morgana? Is that Mother's voice? Why do you have to gain from handing out blessings for nothing? It's my sacred responsibility as the daughter of God to help all those in need. How noble of you, Morgana. How honorable to not cast aside your duty in the face of such misery. Is it the reason I was placed upon this earth? But tell me this. Are you offering offerings genuinely altruistic? What? Are they, Morgana?
Oh.
Or do you simply do it out of a desire to call yourself benevolent? When the people of your village sang your praises, when you crushed the man who accused Mother of being a charlatan, you reveled in it. I did not. There's nothing wrong with that, though. It's a perfectly normal reaction. Having pride and feeling a sense of superiority are perfectly human emotions, especially in a child as young as you. The reason you feel shame about your pride, however, is the very source of that pride, your identity as a daughter of God. Free yourself from those chains and the guilt they cause you. Go back to being an ordinary little girl. You can do that. Remove the chains and pass them on to me. No!
Ooh, that was really cool. That was like, it's like her cursed self is actually there already. Ooh, I actually want to see. Okay. Nothing. Oh, close the backlog. That's all that is. Okay. Hands off, you silly.
What an awful nightmare. Dreaming about my time at the Lord's Manor is bad enough. But go back to being an ordinary little girl? No, absolutely not. That's not an option. My whole life would become meaningless if I were to do that. Not that I could ever call myself normal with a face like this. There's nothing ordinary about me. If I were to lose my position as the daughter of God, I would be nothing but a hideous child.
Oh, this would probably be a good place to stop, but I'm not going to stop yet. We're going to go for at least a little more. In about a week's time, Ceren had made herself thoroughly at home in the brothel. She had evidently found herself quite a few fans among the clientele, some of whom came specifically to see her. Most found her peculiar, hyper-energetic disposition overwhelming at first, but quickly warmed up to her. Not a single person seemed to dislike her, at least among them those I came in contact with. Her second week, Ceren started branching out beyond the brothel. On her days off, she would go down to the pub and sing for the audiences in a makeshift stage of tables. Her first day performing, she dragged me with her, claiming she was too nervous to go alone. So I sat in the corner as she sang. Everyone was quite surprised at how well she could sing, and they were particularly drawn to her unfamiliar melodies. Perhaps they were songs from her home country, or perhaps she'd picked them up elsewhere. But regardless, her music and exotic appearance made for an enchanting performance. When it was over, the audience roared with applause, and I was convinced she was a much better choice to sing for them than me. Aw, but Jacopo wanted you to sing. By her third week, even Maria had begun to come around. At first, the most approval Ceren could squeeze out of Marie was an exasperated sigh of something dumb she said or something careless she did. But as her popularity grew, and with it the customer base, Maria softened up.
Man, I'm glad to have you working here.
She said that with a big grin, patting Ceren on the back. To me, Maria's motivation seemed somewhat shallow, but considering she ran the brothel in all but name, that should have come as little surprise. She was so easily swayed by money. 4 weeks after her arrival, there was no one around who didn't know Ceren. The peacekeepers had all taken quite a liking to her as well. Particularly the number one man, the big one whose name I had trouble remembering. Ah, interesting. Whenever he ran into her, he would say, "Hey there, Ceren. I'm fresh out of coin, but you want to spend the night together?"
No money, no business.
Ah, don't be such a killjoy. All the men in my life, in fact, had warmed up quite noticeably to her, including him. At meals, there was seldom a quiet moment. Yeah, I could see that. And there was nothing wrong with that. I should have been pleased to see everyone so merry. I should have been happy. I should have celebrated their joy. But by the time the full moon had passed, I found myself avoiding Ceren at every opportunity. That sucks, because I think they could have had a good friendship. Who could that be at this hour? I'm coming! Calm the heck down.
Good morning, Jackie. Wait, don't close the door on me.
I'm bad enough in mornings as it is. The last thing I need is to start my day with this human noisemaker.
Now that's not very nice. I thought we were friends, Jackie. I'm here on business too, not to play around.
Fine. What business? And make it quick.
House call. Wait, you didn't even let me finish before you started closing the door.
First, you don't even do house calls. Second, it's past closing hours.
Yeesh, you're no fun. Maybe I'll start calling you Jackie Joke Killer. Can't you at least play along for a bit before shooting it down?
Why am I the one being criticized? It's way too early for this. Have you know, it's never been fun. I've never been fun.
That's true. You're about as much fun as a virgin client.
What did you just call me?
Whee! He opened the door.
So seriously, what are you here for? Obviously not a house call.
Well, if you want, I can make it one.
Not a chance in hell. Get up to the point now before I toss you into the latrine.
Now, calm yourself. As someone famous once might have said, every minute angry is a day off your life.
And who do you think is making me so angry?
Anyway, Maria needs some supplies acquired, urgently. Looking for someplace willing to part with some lumber, free if possible.
Lumber? What for?
Lots of floorboards. Lost a floorboard last night.
You did? What, did someone get a little too into it?
Oh man, you have no idea. This big old gorilla of a guy comes in snarling like he wants to eat us alive, starts getting it on and bangs a hole in the floor. No joke. And he doesn't stop either. All the girls taking turns with him just because one's not enough to keep up. The whole place is howling all night long.
Wow, sounds like quite a strenuous night.
Yep, sure would be, if it really happened. Truth is, it was just an old rotten board.
I swear. Girl, I'm never gonna get that image out of my head either.
Aw, you're blushing, Jackie. You never know you're regular. You'd never know you're a regular at a whorehouse.
I am not a regular. You darn well know it. Why are you even coming to me to ask for help anyway? Surely you can handle a little shopping trip on your own.
Yeah, I kind of figured you'd say that. Though it wouldn't hurt to ask, though. Okay, I'm out of here then.
It's past closing hours. I said as much myself a moment ago. She'd just go off work. She's visibly exhausted. Wait, it's fine. I'll take care of it. You go back and get some rest.
You're so sweet, Jackie. Maria's totally right. If pressuring him doesn't work, pull back. Act defeated and he'll fold quicker than the floorboard.
Darn you, Maria. Okay, so is that all you needed, right? You're done here? Or was there something else?
I just got off work. I'm super crazy tired. But I fought through it and came all the way out here.
And?
So just maybe
Maybe
you should be offering me a drink. Or 10.
Okay, fine. You win. It's not like you'll back down if I tell you no anyway. Come in, sit wherever.
Whee!
She's, oh gosh, this girl. So tell me something, Ceren. How much longer are you planning on working at the brothel?
Huh? Where'd that come from?
Just curious.
Sounds kind of like you don't want me there.
I never said that. In fact, your presence has been quite the boon. Maria is very pleased with the uptick in business.
Then why do you ask?
Because it's not the line of work anyone should be in for any longer than necessary.
Ah.
Are you still struggling with money?
Actually, I don't have anything I need to pay back anymore. Now I'm just saving up for myself.
All the more reason you should consider getting out. Find some way you can put one of your other talents to use.
I don't know. I'm not really overflowing with talent.
I can think of one at least. Your performance at the pub. They're always a huge hit. Singing isn't the most stable of careers, no, but neither is prostitution. So if you were to choose, I'd say may be better off going with the one that's easier on your body.
Me, a singer. Maria and the girls are so good to me, though. I feel awful for hopping off the boat after only 1 month.
You can't put yourself second to some feeling of indebtedness. It's your life, your body to take care of. It's no one's responsibility but your own. Do what you think is best for yourself, not what you think should be done for others. What's so funny?
For all you try to pretend otherwise, deep down, you're a really sweet guy, Jackie.
I'm just telling you what the logical thing to do in this situation is.
Most logical businessmen would wouldn't chase off their workers. They'd work them till there's nothing left. But that's just how it is. Prostitutes are a dime a dozen. In the grand scheme of things, they're not important enough to fret about because you can replace them easy.
I suppose. But you know this brothel's different. Maria and I don't have a manager to answer to. No greedy bee running this place intent on working everyone to the bone. It was built up by the girls, so as one of the girls yourself, I'm sure they'd respect whatever decision you made. Maria values your opinion too.
Yeah, she said the same thing when I first showed up. That it's not your job to keep for very long. I'll give it some thought.
I'm glad.
It never even occurred to me that I could make a living singing. Well, actually, I don't think it ever occurred to me to think about my future much at all. You're a good guy, Jackie, and Maria is a good boss.
We're just doing what anyone else would. So, I generally try not to pry, but I've been wondering, where were you before you came here?
What? Wow, you're really talkative today, Jackie.
I'm just in an inquisitive mood. It's been nagging at me for a while now. how low her threshold for satisfaction seems to be. I mean, out here, everyone learns to be happy with what they can get, but Ceren in particular feels a bit extreme.
You already know how I was abducted, right?
Yeah, I've heard about that. Twice, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. First time was when I was real little. Though I wasn't targeted, it was during a raid. A couple bandits busted in and killed my mom and dad while I watched.
Holy crap.
They spared me, luckily, sold me off to work in a field somewhere as a slave instead. And one day, when I was out on supply run, I got swiped up and sold off again. It wasn't until about 2 years back when I started working as a prostitute. Was in a different city for a while, then I ended up here. And that about covers it. What's wrong, Jackie?
I just wasn't expecting something quite so bleak. You'd never guess from how she acted.
Well, pretty much everyone in the slums has their own sad story, don't they? Some more than others, maybe. Luckily, I never had a bad master. Everyone was really nice. I always had food and a place to sleep. So I've never felt like I had it bad.
I think that more than qualifies as than having it bad. Yeah, watching your parents get killed in front of you, that's pretty bad.
Oh,
Have you never felt like you got the short end of the stick?
I don't even know what the stick looks like. Never mind which end is the short one.
Well, I'll tell you, it's the one you were given. Your parents were murdered. Your life suddenly turned upside down. Some strange man decided you were worth the money, selling you into slavery. You shouldn't be. You should be furious. You think you're happy right now, but let me tell you this. There's not a darn scrape of happiness to be found down here at the bottom of the ladder. It's nothing. It's not until you go up a few rungs when you're not living off scraps and treated like garbage. That's when you'll find anything resembling real happiness.
I don't know about that.
I mean, she's kind of right. Like, I don't think people should be like, I don't like it when people try and pitch to, like, you make yourself happy. It's like life is garbage, but you are the one that decides to be happy or not. Like, that's not true, especially because a lot of times there's a lot of chemicals involved with that. Like, I'm not talking drugs. I'm talking about, like, chemical imbalances that determine whether or not you feel happy. I think you can be positive and forward thinking, but it's really not fair to make it sound like you should just strive to be happy with your circumstances. It's enviable and it's a great thing to do. Like, if you're in a position where you can, like, you should strive to find happiness in your life regardless of the challenges you faced, but you don't have, but sometimes these kinds of, like, positions make it feel like if you don't feel happy, it's your fault, and that's not true. I think you can find happiness in most any life, like Ceren is showing here, but you should never feel like it's your burden to find happiness. Like, seek happiness, find joy in the little things, and find meaning in your life. Like, oftentimes there are things in our life that bring us meaning that we can overlook because they're just always around us. But I also think it's dangerous to try and imply that for some reason, if you're not happy, it's your fault. Like, that's also not true. But Ceren's a great example of somebody who, like, lives for the moment and like lives for, like, she doesn't worry about the future. I do that all the time. And she also isn't obsessed with the past, which is something a lot of other people are very, very guilty of. And I think that that's where a lot of her joy comes from. She lives in the moment and finds the joy of the moment. And I think that is important to be able to do, is like finding the happiness that is there, because it's not like there's very few situations where there isn't at least something to be happy about. But just be careful, be safe, and treat yourself right.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm enjoying myself. I'm happy. Doesn't matter if I'm rich or poor or hungry or what.
Huh. Sorry for losing my cool like that. It's not my place to decide what you are and aren't allowed to be happy about.
You want to climb higher up the ladder, Jackie?
I can't imagine there's anyone who doesn't. Except you just told me you were satisfied right where you are, so I guess that proves me wrong. But I can tell you that me and the gang are thoroughly through putting up with the status quo. We're holding on well enough for the time being because we're young and healthy, but here in the slums, that's only worth so much.
Huh. Honestly, I can't even think of more than a few minutes ahead, so I've never been that concerned about my future. But I think a future you guys are shooting for sounds pretty great. I hope you succeed in creating your utopia.
I wouldn't go as far to call it that.
That's basically what it is though, right? You're trying to make the world a place where everyone's equal. Where everyone's got plenty of money and can get a doctor when they get sick. Where no one starves to death or gets sold to slavery, right? Sounds pretty sweet. I'm rooting for ya.
My goals are hardly so noble.
Say what?
Nothing. I agree. That would be a nice world to live in. My dissatisfaction doesn't arise from concern for the world or others. I'm hardly so selfless.
Oh, right. I just remembered something super duper important, Jackie.
And that is?
It's almost midsummer, which means festival time.
Oh, right. That's happening, isn't it?
I want to go.
What's stopping you?
No, wrong answer. Learn to read between the lines, Jackie. I want to go with everyone.
That's about what I expected her to say.
Gather all the girls at the brothel, you peacekeeper bros. Get everyone together and join the festivities.
That seems like a bit too large of a group.
Okay, then we limit it to just the cool people. Either way.
You know, that might not be such a bad idea.
Whoa, is the world ending? I didn't expect you to say yes so quickly.
You want to say that one more time, girlie?
I was sure you were going to get all huffy and fight me over at least for half an hour. Bunch of slum dwellers getting into the city proper is only asking for misery. Unless you enjoy being treated like rats, you would be better off celebrating in the pub with everyone you know. And on and on and on.
Is that what she thinks I sound like? I won't pretend I'm thrilled about the idea, but I've also never taken her to a festival before, which is why I thought it might be worth considering.
You mean Morgs?
Morgs? Morgana would never speak to me again if I called her that. Yes, Morgana.
Seems to me like you're especially nice to her, Jackie. You got a crush on her or something? You falling head over heels for her?
Excuse me? Who in their right mind would fall for a child that young?
You can't deny you care about her, though. You wouldn't do as much for her if you didn't.
And I never said I didn't care for her. I'm pretty sure she doesn't have anyone else. So someone's got to look after her.
Oh, so she's like a little sister to you.
I'm pretty sure she doesn't see me the same way, though. Yeah, I think she'd hit right on the nose there. I imagine this is about what it would be like if I had a sister.
Anyway, Morgs means a lot to you. That much is obvious to anyone. So how about you ask her if she wants to come to the festival?
You live with her. It'd be so much simpler if you did it.
She's been kind of keeping her distance lately.
Oh, something happened between you two?
Nothing I can think of. Maybe she feels like when I showed up, I invaded her territory. And she doesn't like me because she doesn't feel as much at home anymore.
So she's being sulky. I didn't realize she was capable of getting moody.
Jackie! That's being super superficial, you know. Sure, she can be pretty tough nut to crack, but she is an 11-year-old girl. She gets happy and sad and upset just as much as anyone else.
Try as I might, I simply can't envision it.
So you ask her to come, Jackie. Put your heart and soul into it. Get her there, and we'll have fun at the festival. It'll smooth everything up between me and her.
Putting my heart and soul into it might be counterproductive. But sure, I'll see if she's interested when I apply her ointment today.
Thanks a bunch. Well, I should get back. Catch you later, Jackie.
Take care.
Aye.
Morgana sulking and avoiding Ceren. Now there's an unexpected development. Or maybe I'm just not paying enough attention. Anyway, I should head out and take care of business. That was interesting. All right. And that's where we're going to stop for today. On the brink and precipice of going to a festival, which sounds really, really fun. My first thought is that she's just going to flat out say no. She might still initially say no, but maybe she'll change her mind. I don't know. It'll be interesting. But I'm excited to see how this all plays out. What an interesting episode. And it's really interesting to see, like, future Curse Morgana making an appearance. I didn't realize she would, like, the seeds of that being, that entity, like, her future self would already have been planted this far back in her past. But it kind of makes sense when you think about it. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you spending your time with me. It's really been a pleasure, as always. But, like, it's still fun to be able to share this. And I think we got to have some really good kind of heart-to-heart moments. I always try and look forward to those. Like, it's a chance for me to elevate this to beyond just like a playthrough and a reaction. It's like I also give a commentary and share my thoughts and personal experiences. It really means a lot to me to do that. And I'm grateful that you guys enjoy that and can tolerate my terrible voice acting because, oh my gosh, I think this episode show that I'm still really bad. But thank you guys so much for your patience and enjoying the series with me. And a special thank you to my patrons who are so awesome and who help me choose the series I play and get to have some direct input and just got like some access to some patron cast stuff. Like, I hope you guys enjoy it. I've got some real big surprises coming out for you in the near future, so keep an eye out on the channel for that. And yeah, actually, I got some exciting stuff coming up for the channel as a whole very, very soon. So I hope you guys are all just ready and raring to go in that regard. So thank you guys so much for everything you've done. I appreciate it. You are wonderful. Everything you do, watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, all of it makes such a big difference. So thank you for every little bit you show. And until next video, watch me. I'll see you next. I'll see you there.